Hello and welcome to the United Man. My name is Shane. This is the latest on Manchester United transfer news now. We're going to be going through all the latest in regards to where we're at with the Jadon Sancho deal, Jack Grealish, Raúl Jiménez, James Rodriguez. That one seemed to ring a bell. Anyway, we're going to go through all the latest transfer news now.
The mic, making sure productive tight.
Yes, we are back and we've got some new names, some old names, some favourite names and some names that frankly I've just not heard of. So before we get into it, you know the crack. Let's subscribe, share, like, get in the comments definitely so we can engage as usual, and let's go. So one of the usual suspect names that crops up every so often, every couple of transfer windows, is the name James Rodriguez. There's been speculation he's been on loan here, there and everywhere. Speculation about him coming to Manchester United. It's a non-starter. I'm going to go with a cold one on this one, and we're not very warm on this transfer deal, let's say. No, it's not happening. Now, a name we've not heard of before is Gabriel, how do you pronounce it, Magalhaes. Plays for Lille in the French league, 22-year-old centre-back. Played 24 games last season, made 41 tackles, 22 interceptions, won 67 duels and forward passes. He made 578. I know very, very little about this guy. I will be doing my scouting out on him on the little clickety-click YouTube stuff. You know how it is on YouTube. You can make anyone look really good on YouTube. So just to watch this space on this deal. I don't really see much in it. I believe that Ollie will be on the lookout for a centre-back possibly. But for now, just watch this space. On to the main man, Jadon Sancho. Now, I'm going to be dropping some stats on this kid now as well, just so everyone can fully appreciate how good he is, how good he has been, and how good he is yet to be. So just want to touch on, there has been some forward motion, let's say, with regards to the Jadon Sancho deal. Now, it was broken on by Independent, saying that there's been basically an initial fee agreed of 60 million. Now, before I go into the details of this, we have to bear in mind, Borussia Dortmund have the same executives in charge that brokered a deal for Henrik Mkhitaryan in his last year of his deal, and they collared us for 42 million. So they're no jokes, they're no mugs. They will get what they want, or we don't get Sancho. It's as simple as that. Now, I shall just go through the report in regards to what it's saying via the Independent. They claim that Dortmund will accept an initial fee of 60 million for Sancho, with the rest payable in add-ons for what would be a new British transfer record, eclipsing the 89 million that United paid for re-signing Paul Pogba back in 2016. The report does say, however, that talks regarding the deals are still between intermediaries, with no formal negotiations having taken place yet between the two clubs, though the principles of the deal have been set out. That basically means that this is what the opening agreement has been, that Manchester United will pay up front 60 million, and the add-ons will take it, and I'm imagining, past the 95 million mark, and ultimately be a new British record as it suggested. Now, it goes on to mention that there were reports in German publication Kicker on Wednesday suggesting that Sancho's preference was to move to league champions Liverpool, though a big money approach from the Anfield outfit looks highly unlikely considering the limited financial power they have this summer. The Reds pulling out of a 50 million deal for Timo Werner earlier this year also points to that direction. United are reported to be the only club in for Sancho at this time, with Dortmund having already started to look for a replacement for the former Manchester City academy graduate. So, you know, everything seems to be pointing in the direction of Sancho making a move here. Doesn't surprise me. As I've said time and time again before, for me, it's a matter of when and not if. Now, rolling on to some of the fantastic stats for Sancho. Now, he is age 20 in the out of the top 5 leagues since the start of last season. So that's the start of 18-19 season. Only Messi has basically assisted on more occasions than Jadon Sancho with 34. And that's Messi with 34 assists and Sancho with 30 assists. That's better than Angel Di Maria, who's been setting up Mbappe, Icardi, Neymar. Better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. Better than Kevin De Bruyne. As it says, in the top 5 leagues, he's only come second to Messi when it comes to assists. Now, in the Bundesliga, he has been involved in more than a third of Dortmund's goals since the start of the 18-19 season as well. So that's actually absolutely massive. Sancho is also top of the English players for the most goals and assists combined within the top 5 leagues since the beginning of last season as well, 18-19. Now he sits at the top of that table where he is scored 29 goals and assisted on 30 occasions, so that's a total of plus 59. Vardy has scored 41 and assisted 9, plus 50. Sterling has scored 37, assisted 11, plus 48. Kane has scored 35 and assisted on 6, that's plus 41. And Marcus Rashford has scored 27 and assisted 13, that's plus 40. So he's no joke. The kid is no joke. And that's what I wanted to hit home. The fact that Jadon Sancho is, if you didn't already know it, no joke. So, yeah, we have to be able to appreciate what we're bringing to the club, potentially. Until it's done and dusted and you see him sitting there with the paper signing his contract, that famous shot with the manager over his shoulder, giving the old grin. Yeah, for me, it's inevitable. Again, when, not if. A couple more deals to go through. We are talking about, of course, Jack Grealish from Aston Villa and the £80 million that's been bandied about. Listen, if Villa were let's say, obviously, if they got relegated, it would have been a lot easier. They didn't, so they can demand a little bit more from him. However, 80 million when he is the lead in the small pond isn't really viable or feasible, so I don't see where they're getting that 80 million from, if indeed that is correct. However, if more likely you'd be looking at 45, 50, maybe 55 maximum. You've got to think in comparison what we paid for Bruno Fernandes. Now, I know he's English, I know he's young, I know he's talented, and there's a premium. However, we do need to put it into context and not get overawed with the fact that there's another potential very good player available. Let's do the deal if there's a deal to be done at the right price. For me, the only person that you're going to be pushing about for this summer is Jadon Sancho. In terms of a centre-back, you can find a good one for a discounted price in and around European leagues. Yeah, we don't need to go and splash the cash on, as far as I'm concerned, anyone but Jadon Sancho. Now, there's one that's just pretty much come out of the woodworks, and it's in relation to Raúl Jiménez. Now, it's said that Wolves are vehemently looking for a replacement for him. Okay, fair enough. But does that mean anything is going to happen? Now, you've got Ebola and is it RTP. They basically say that the Mexican star is on his way to Manchester United. Just in case Wolves fans were wondering where the transfer has come from, they can confirm this has happened all of a sudden. Earlier this week, the Portuguese media have already claimed that the striker was moving to England on a 30 million deal, but they had no idea which club were triggering his release clause. Now, that's the striker to replace Raúl Jiménez, called Paulinho, who's currently playing in Portugal. Regarding Manchester United and Raúl Jiménez claim, at first seemed to be something of an assumption based on earlier rumours. So it's intriguing that RTP, who aren't usually prone to gossip, insists that the player is on his way to join Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side. Now, A Bowler was one of the newspapers that were on the Bruno Fernandes hype back in the day. But this, well, they're saying there's something to this Raúl Jiménez deal. So again, it's a kind of watch this space in this one. I'll kind of say lukewarm on this one. Jack Grealish is hot. Jadon Sancho is fire. So that's extra hot. But yeah, in terms of Raúl Jiménez, lukewarm. In terms of James Rodriguez, cold. In terms of Gabriel Megalis, that's cold as well. Jack Grealish, lukewarm. So, you know, there's something to it, and it's heating up. The transfer window is open and it's heating up. And Manchester United is at the epicenter as usual. Make sure you share this, like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one, keeping you up to date. Take care, guys.